the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Welcome everybody to another episode of This is CorbinCenter, the last one technically of 2023, and it's crazy to think that we've been doing these pretty much all year round. So a very special recognition goes out to Mike. I just want to say thank you for reaching out. Thank you for your support. We'll be working together here real soon. I'm going to keep it on the down low on what it is that we'll be doing. We'll be collaborating, but I just want to give you a special shout out. And before I go any further, let me just say, I hope you had a wonderful holiday. See, I'm not exactly the Grinch that everyone thinks I am. I'm not the wrecker of holidays that everyone thinks I am. Maybe for some people, I wish them the worst of holidays. I know they tried to ruin mine. So there's a couple people that are on the list, but I don't have time to focus on you because what I'm here to talk about is a big change that is going to be coming to This is CorbinCenter. Now, over the time that I've been doing this, I've really liked the idea of doing something where I get a chance to kind of touch base on the videos that come out, or get to touch base on the shows and talk about some of the stuff that comes out. And it allows me to kind of go a little bit more in depth on my motivation for why I go after people. So you don't think I'm just a heartless monster. I have motivation. Everyone always refers to me as a villain, and that is not the case. I feel that a lot of my actions are justified, and I feel like a lot of unfairness is put towards me, which is why I started this, to get my voice heard. But I think maybe the length and maybe how things are kind of digested, because if I make this out here for a week, by the time I wrestle on the weekends, some of this is obsolete. So here's what I thought about doing for This is CorbinCenter. I still want to give a forum to basically voice my opinion based on some of the things that might be questions that come up. Will we still keep doing This is CorbinCenter on Thursdays? Big question. Maybe. I'm going to still try and hit pivotal points before the weekend because I like to tie into that. I want to make sure that we at least touch base on some of the shows that are coming up and some of the things that we're going to do. So I think that might stay. But will we be doing potentially multiple This is CorbinCenters throughout the week? Yeah, that's actually kind of a new thing. Rather than doing like a long little segue in here and talk about this as a bit, I thought maybe we would break it up a little bit. Maybe like, let's say something big happens on the weekend that I need to address, and maybe I do that and make this little digestible, because we all know that the world, and more so you watching at home, you can only take in so much. Our ability for our brains to focus, our attention span is shrunk into nanoseconds. That's from basketball. But it's true. It is true. And it's probably a lot better then than it is now. So I figured maybe break it up and maybe take episodes in ways to digest them. Rather than doing CorbinCenter episode 48, why don't we do like This is CorbinCenter and the date, and we talk about things. Also, rather than just me talking at you, I want to kind of get some of the impression, and maybe it'll be some of the feedback that I get from people on my fan page, or maybe it's questions that I've seen come through social media or as a result. But I'm going to have somebody more so asking me the questions I think people want to hear, rather than me just talking and going on a tangent, because we do know that talking is probably my best feature, so we have that. But I mean, I understand that, look, you got places to be, so while you're just taking a little break, maybe it's easier to digest this content. And here's the thing about me. I'm the first one to realize that I do it for all of you, all my fans. I make things easier and I try things out. I'm not afraid to admit when we need to change, because of course there's been some CorbinCenters where we've had a lot of viewers, where we've pushed like the 100 plateau, but right now we've grown kind of stagnant. So I think this might be a little bit better digestible, but I always try new things and I get it out there and I do it. And this one will allow me to focus a little bit more and still put content out which will be beneficial to my YouTube channel. And so I think that is a huge aspect, which will make these shows a little bit different. So starting in 2024, you're going to see a little bit different of a format that's going to roll out with this. And we'll be able to address upcoming shows, what happened, and also just general involvement that I have, because it's not all just wrestling that I do. I'm very talented. Because as you know, on January 2nd, The Floor debuts, and if you saw the preview, you saw that they put my focus on there quite a bit. So you can only imagine what's going to happen on that show. And I've gotten so many messages. Is that you? I saw somebody who looked like you. There is nobody who looks like me. And the idea of having two of me would be a big problem for the entire world. You thought one of me is enough to handle? Imagine two. So that's how we're looking at it. So I want to keep this really brief for your holidays. This one's going to be nice and short. I wanted to inform you of some of the changes that are going on, and I'm going to be doing a lot more content that might be digestible pieces based on This is Corbin Center, and allowing me not to become obsolete and still staying in ability to touch base with the current event and what's going on. So let's say something happens at a show. I'll be able to talk about it afterwards. Maybe if I want to. I don't have to talk about it. Maybe I want to hype what's coming up, and maybe I want to focus on that. Absolutely, I can do that. Maybe there's something like a trend on social media that I feel the need to weigh in, because sometimes however many characters you have in a tweet just ain't enough. And that's what this show is for, because I am allowing myself to get what I've always wanted, and that's my voice heard. And when I've controlled the forum, when I've controlled the media to allow that to happen, nobody can shut me up. Nobody can suspend me. No one can cut my microphone. Nobody can put stupid guidelines, fines, all that stuff on me. This is 100% me, and going into 2024, 20 years in, 1,400 matches, you will continue to see the same Darin Corbin that you've always grown to enjoy. But I'm feeding it to you in digestible content. So think of it as a 5-course meal, and you're getting all the servings that you need, because I'm worried about your health. Because too much of me would definitely be a lot to handle, just as some of my opponents. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of This is Corbin Center, and I will see you in 2024.